Hello and a very warm welcome to my channel. Now, this video, as you can already see on the screen, is on the sugar sector. Now, I have selected certain sugar stocks in which my reading is that they could do very well in the short, medium term from here onwards, and they would move ahead well. There could be, of course, many sugar stocks which may be better than what I have selected, or maybe some of these may not turn out to be that well. But this is what my reading is, and I'm going to share with you all the details now in this particular report of mine. Now, a disclaimer before I move ahead, this is not at all a trading or investing advice to you. This video is purely educational based on the study of Ichimoku, Fibonacci, and harmonic trading patterns. If you are going to take any trading or investing decisions, then please do your study thoroughly, carefully. Mark your levels of support and resistance, and always respect what the trend tells you. Let's go ahead and check out the stocks one by one. Before I go ahead with the stocks, I'm just telling you all about my courses which are available online. These are all recordings along with PDF for Ichimoku, harmonic trading patterns, trading psychology, risk management, Heikin-Ashi, RSI divergence, so rotation of sectors, stock selection within sectors, uh, risk management for journal making, trading discipline, uh, scanners, and also you get with me if you go for the harmonics or Ichimoku course, you get one-on-one backing with me through WhatsApp and through email. Also, you can ask your doubts, you can share your interpretation. Those who go for the trading psychology courses get 10 live one-on-one sessions with me of 1 hour each. If you are available during market hours, then fine. Else, after market hours, also this works accordingly. So the link is there in the description box. If you are interested, go ahead and you can send me an email, and I would respond back to you with the details of the courses, and we can then carry forward it from there. For those who are completely new to technicals or charts and all that, there is a bonus material of candlesticks also, which I've covered extensive on how to identify candlesticks, one candle, two candle, three candle signals in that also. So let's now shoot ahead with this video of on sugar sector. So, like I said, I've covered on certain specific sugar stocks, and I'm going to talk to you all about them. So, the ranking has come based on market cap of these stocks, not on the basis of alphabetical order or any preference of any such kind. So, starting with the first one, Renuka Sugar. Renuka Sugar is into the manufacturing and refining of sugar, ethyl alcohol, ethanol, and generation of power. It is India's fourth largest sugar manufacturing company. Its revenue breakup from sugar is 92%, from distilleries 4%, and from power another 4%. 71% of its business is exports, overseas markets, and only 25% comes to domestic markets. In that case, the promoter holding in Renuka Sugar is at 62%, FII holding at 3.43%, domestic institutions 10.08%, while the public holds 23.98%. It has had a higher interest payout year-on-year basis, and it's seeing a decline in net cash flow. Also, the income is coming from the non-core business currently. So that's the basic fundamentals of what I could gather of the stock. Now let's go and look at the charts. So Renuka Sugar has had a very simultaneous ride. You can see all the way from October 2005 listing runs up to the 2010, even subprime managed to rise, but for then a tremendous decline from 2010 that cycled down all the way to the pandemic lows. 10-year decline and almost a huge wipeout of capital from 105 all the way down to just $3, and now after that has recovered 50% almost of that 10-year decades loss in the last 4.5 years. So interestingly, pushing its way back up. The quarterly charts are showing a support all the way down at 35 rupees as per Ichimoku right now, and very, very close to a huge cloud in which it could enter from October onwards as the new quarter starts. Let's look at the monthly chart and try to analyze. You can see a trend line in the monthly trying to push its way above this trend line. As per Ichimoku, the monthly supports coming in at 45, this cloud support out here, and below that all the way down to 35. The resistance at 50, 52, which is the Ichimoku baseline, and then this trend line breakout out here at 57, 58 odd rupees is also there. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly chart is, in very, very narrow. You can see candles getting very squeezed up out here. The support coming in at 45 and then all the way at 35, which is the cluster support with the monthly also in this case. Before that, a small support here at 40 can also be spotted here. The resistance in the weekly charts is currently all the way at 50 out here. A lot of fractal formations out here. Above that, it has a cloud breakout probably till 57, 58, and then it gets very strong from there. Let's look at the daily time frame. The daily is suggesting support coming in inside the cloud. So a lot of turmoil has happened. Huge support base formation in the daily at first at 45, huge Senkaku Ichimoku support here. If that does not hold, then some trouble all the way down to out here at 38 in that case. The resistance in the daily at 40, which is a 45 rather, 49, sorry, and then all the way to up here at 50. So important at 49 and then 52 out here. You can see couple of, from June, this area has troubled the stock to cross over. So above 52, there could be interesting moves coming in Renuka sugar. So my assessment of the stock is that I would be looking to accumulate this stock in the range of, on the upside of 50 and on the downside till 45. So that's a $5, $3 on the up, 2.5 on the upside, 2.5 on the downside. If it comes down to 35, I'll do aggressive accumulation there. And supposing it doesn't go down and starts pushing its way above 50 to 50, then till 57, I would do some more accumulation. Then I would like to hold this stock and trail it for the medium to long term, all the way first to 90, which looks like a try to stop the up move, and then probably towards 125 odd levels also possible in this case. Definitely trying to get more stronger as it pushes its way above 58 in that case. So good potential on the upside in my reading in the case of Renuka sugar. Now let's go and do the next one. Again, in terms of market cap in the descending order is what I have planned. The second stock is Bajaj Hindustan Sugar. Now, Bajaj Hindustan Sugar, I have been very bullish on the stock for quite some time. And in my Diwali 11 2023, this was one of the top picks out there. So if you want to have a look at that video also, it's there. The link is there in the description box. You can check that one out also. Now, Bajaj Hindustan, incorporated in the year 1931, is into the manufacturing of sugar, ethanol, alcohol, and generation of power. It has 14 sugar factories and 6 distilleries, apart from 14 co-generation plants. Renuka Sugar gets 76% of its revenue from sugar, 12% from power, and 11% comes from their distillery unit currently. Promoter holding is at 24.96%, which is 100% pledged. And if that's one of the negative factors of the stock. FII hold 2.63%, domestic institutions 8.43%, while the public holds a large 63.84%. It has had a low interest coverage with poor sales growth in the last 5 years at a negative 2.15% and an increase in non-core income. However, the company is seeing good profit growth higher than the industry average, and a return of equity is improving in the last 2 years, along with the return on assets for the company. Now, let's have a look at the charts and try to see what lies ahead for it. So Bajaj Hindustan Sugar in the quarterly charts has entered inside the Ichimoku cloud, which suggests some uncertainty, some volatility also picks up in this zone. And we can expect a strong support. The quarterly charts is suggesting at 25. Currently, resistance all the way up, quite far away rather, not anything close before 90, and then at 225. Again, look at the start. It's a crazy kind of volatile move from all the way from 1996 till 2006, a huge rally of 10 years, and then a breakdown which never went, while others improved. This one kept on tumbling, came down till 2020. That's a 14-year fall. Look at 24 and all the way till from 400 all the way down, and then that recovery now, right? The recovery is still far away from what the stock had at one time done. So still a long way to go in terms of recovery for this stock. Let's have a look at the monthly charts. In the monthly, the support comes in at 25, 27, 28 rather. And then below that, it's a quite a deep plunge all to 15 in this case. The resistance for the monthly currently at this level. And interestingly, you can see one very good factor out here, that the stock has managed to finally breach over this wall out here. So if you look at the charts in 2009, it had come down from all the way from 400 to 30, get a sharp recovery till 200, then the breakdown, and then the attempt to go back in 2014 failed. Again, that pandemic low, and now it has managed to start sustaining above this crucial, very crucial support line out here. So that's one of the big positive news for the stock in terms of chart reading, that yes, potential to push forward is there now. That attempt, which was not happening. And here also you can see, if you look at it, that the earlier attempts to break this zone uh, at 20 were failed, and then it managed to thrust over it, and it has survived above that zone. So that's another very important support of below 28 of 22 for the stock. So big range being built up for the stock out there. Let's look at the weekly charts of Bajaj Hindustan, and you can see very well above the Ichimoku cloud and doing well since 2013 July. So just testing the baseline, just one small test of the cloud here in Jan 24, and beautifully holding on to it. So the weekly support is coming at just very close at 36, and then all the way down to 32. This was that monthly line of polarity we were discussing. The resistance is at 45 in this case right now for Bajaj Hindustan in the weekly time frame. Let's look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame inside the cloud, so volatility continues. Support comes in at 36 approx rupees, very strong support level. Below that, it could just retest this level of 32 or around that. The resistance in the daily is at 40 out here, 40, 41, and then at 45. So my reading of Bajaj Hindustan, since we've seen a jolly good ride, from lows to ups, back to low, a roller coaster ride taking place, is that it is a strong accumulation stock between 48 on the upside, 45, I would say, not even 48 on the upside, and on the downside till 33 in nice zone to accumulate that stock. In case it breaches that 32 level, then you could wait for a push down till 25 odd to accumulate more. In that case, failure to hold 2022 would be bad for the stock. So that's my risk level currently. On the upside, I am looking at something like, it's opening for 90, then 125, and then all the way to 225. Stock has tremendous uh, potential. Of course, yes, such things would take some time to happen. This is not for short-term trading and all that. Those targets are more for medium to long term, in my case, for Bajaj Hindustan. Now let's go and have a look at the next stock. Now, the next stock for me is Bannari Amman Sugar. Again, I'm going in descending order of market cap. Bannari Amman Sugar is a leading sugar manufacturer in India. It has three factories in Tamil Nadu and two in Karnataka, one distillery unit in each Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. It is also into granite processing and windmill power windmills. Its revenue comes sugar bulk 84%, power 10%, distilleries 4%, and granite 2%. The domestic revenue is at 79%, while exports are at 21%. Promoter holding 58.69. FII very, very tiny, as good as negligible 0.25. Domestic institutions have zero holding. So it's none of the institutions are holding. It is only the promoter and the public at 41.05%. The company has seen a decline in revenue, in net profit and cash flow in the last 2 quarters. But the company has managed to keep its debt at extremely low levels. It has a high Piotrowski score of 8, and its debtor days have come down from 35 to 22. Now let's have a look at the charts. So Bannari Amman Sugars listed in 1999 has had a tremendous ride. And if you compare it with the other sugar stocks which we just saw till now, this one has not given you that kind of, breakdown of capital or anything of that sort. It's done steadily well, continues to make higher lows out here, as you can see in this case, going all the way to 1350, coming down to 340, then another higher high and a higher low, and once again higher. So, in terms of charts, this one perhaps the strongest in the sugar group which is out there in till now. If you look at it from the quarterly chart point of view, so at this trend line resistance out here, from where we've seen it get rejected once in Jan of 22, and then again in October 22, and now again at that trend line, which is where we could say that yes, it has got some kind of a resistance build up out there. The quarterly chart support comes in at 2,400 currently, and below that at the Ichimoku baseline of 2,100. Resistance is right now at 3,400 odd levels in this case. Let's look at the monthly charts and try to see. And see, you can see it more clearly out here that from this trend line from December 27 to 2017, the stock has had something but a fantastic monthly Ichimoku bounce and a perfect graphic environment taking place out here. The monthly support coming in at 2,800, and below that at 2,500 odd levels for the stock in this case. The resistance at this particular level of 3,400, currently 425 odd levels out here in this case. So a lot of consolidation actually taking place from July in the stock. And we can see that clearly in the weekly one. A lot of time spent has happened out here. The weekly support comes in at 3,100, while the next support below that at 2,900. You can see again kind of a breakout out here, which is, in case it does a revisit, this is what would be the next major support if we don't see 3,100 being held in the escalate. The weekly resistance at 3,425. Let's look at the daily time frame. Now, daily time frame, fantastic support build up at 3,150, and that does not hold. Then we are talking about this particular level 3,050 and a huge one near 2,800. The daily resistance at 3,450 odd levels currently for the stock. Now, my assessment of the reading of Bannari Amman is that this particular range of 3,150 to 3,050 is a strong accumulation zone out here. One could accumulate from here all the way up to 3,500, getting a wider range of accumulation out here for probable upsides, because this stock is something which has always had higher lows and higher highs. So once this trend line is broken and we start seeing it sustain above that, it, the immediate short term, of course, would be round figure 3,500, but above that 4,500 and then 4,800 also is something as per Ichimoku price and price theory, which would be my probable early levels I would be looking for in the medium term in the case of Bannari Amman sugars. Now let's go and check out the next stock. The next one is DCM Shriram Industries. Please do not mix it with DCM Shriram Limited. That's another company of the same group. Shriram Industries is in sugar. The other one is in DCM Shriram Industries is into the production of sugar, alcohol, power, certain chemicals, drones. They are also into drones. Drones seems to be the new theme for everyone, and industrial filters and shipping containers. Its revenue breakup is sugar and distilleries form 61%, rayon 21%, chemicals 18% of its revenue comes from there. Promoter holding is at 50.11%, domestic FII 2.3323, domestic institution 7.71, while the public holds 39.93%. Some of the negative factors of the company which have come up are that it has had a poor sales growth in the last 5 years at 4.28%. It's again a company which is focusing more on the non-core income currently. The good parts, the net profit and operating profit margin have seen an increase both in terms of quarter on quarter and year on year basis. It's seen an improved net cash flow, and the stock has made it into the Jim Slater Discovery Growth stocks. Now let's look at the charts and try to analyze what lies ahead. So DCM Shriram listing is not very far, post-COVID listing for the DCM Shriram Industries stock, and a superb rise from rally from March of 23. But this rally, because this it doesn't have so much of data, looks tremendous. But if you look at the other sugar stocks also, they have also done equally well in that manner comparatively. So yes, the stock is in line with the other stock sugar stocks in terms of charts right now. The support comes in at 170 in the monthly, and then a bit steep down at 150. So 170 and 150 crucial levels in the monthly time frame. The resistance right now at 220, a big one in the monthly out there. The weekly charts, we can see that the stock almost came to a fantastic bullish Ichimoku cloud and bounced way before that. So now the weekly support at 180 out here, and the resistance at 210 and then 230. If it fails to hold 180, we could see a pull down to 150, which is also the monthly support level, the monthly baseline of Ichimoku. The daily charts are suggesting that there is a support at 185 out here. As you can see, stock tried to make a morning star candle, which is quite successful. We've done the pullback also of this, and good possibility of further upside if this 185 level holds for the stock in the short term. Failure to hold 185 could push it down to 170, and then that crucial 150 level. The resistance in the daily at immediate resistance is here itself 200, but a bigger one sitting at 25, 210, and then all the way to 230. My take on the stock of DCM Shriram is that level of 185, 80, 75, 80 is a strong area. So I would be looking for accumulation on the downside till 185 and on the upside till 210 odd levels, good to accumulate, because I see possible upside above 220.25 for the stock till 375 and then 450, purely based on the price and element theory of Ichimoku and on Fibonacci in this case. Of course, those are medium to long term targets, not expecting them in short term under any circumstances. If it happens, it would be great. Now let's go and have a look at the next stock. Now, the next stock is Avadh Sugar and Energy. Avadh Sugar and Energy is a KK Birla Group company into the manufacturing of sugar and its byproducts and spirits and power. It has four sugar mills in UP, two distillery units also. Its revenue comes 75% from sugar and the balance from 22 distillery, two from power, and one from others. In this case, the promoter holding is at 60.39%, FII is 3.74, domestic institutions 0.98, while the public holds 34.88%. One thing you must have noticed that in almost all sugar companies, the public holding is quite large. Some of the negative fundamental factors which have come out are poor sales growth again in the last 5 years at just 4.8%. It's also got declining net cash flow. Promoter pledging, that is the Birla groups have pledged the stock up to 23.82% of their holding. Its stock has made it into the Benjamin Graham value screener currently. Now let's have a look at the charts and try to read it. Now, Avadh Sugar, you can see from the listing, another roller coaster one, listing 2017, cracked down till 2020, then a fantastic recovery like all the other sugar stocks in here also. You can clearly see that from April 22, the stock has been, in a range bound range, not done that great as the other sugar stocks have done comparatively. We saw in especially in DCM how that rally looks. Here it's more of a triangle formation which is taken place in the monthly out here. Quite clearly a triangle can be seen, kind of a triangle, or if it based on the above side right now, then we would say no, not a triangle, more of a sideways correction which has already been completed in that case. So in our, the monthly has got a support coming in all the way quite low at 600 towards the lower end of this thing, the Ichimoku baseline 610, and then this trend line support coming in here at 550. The resistance for now, it is at this particular high of 840. Let's look at the weekly charts. The weekly charts are giving us a strong support, a huge Ichimoku cloud baseline support at 650 and then 600, 575 odd. Then this trend line support coming in. The resistance, yes, same one at 840 in this particular triangle. Let's look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame, the support coming in at 700 odd level, 720 out here. Sharp, huge candle formation on Friday. In this case, we've seen a strong recovery then after this doji on Thursday, which took place. Resistance, yes, the same 850 in this case. If 720.25 does not hold, then we would be looking at 700 to 650 and then steeper move down of 650. My reading for Avadh Sugar, because it's a triangle, so more of a time-wise correction, not a price correction. Once this upper trend line at 850 is taken out, could be fantastic. So my idea would be on the downside till 650, 625. That would be the last leg of the triangle to accumulate. And on the upside till 850, of course, to accumulate above 850, it's a breakout for or probably minimum 950, and then 1250 is what I would be looking for in the case of Avadh Sugar. Now, before I go into the next talk, request to everyone that if this video is of help to you, please do like it, share it, and do subscribe to my channel. Now, let's have a look at the next talk. Now, for the last stock from the sectors which I have selected, again, like I said, there could be many more good stocks in the sugar sector, but what came to my liking, I've gone with a particular thing. And also, I have tried to keep the list restricted to stocks which are above 1200, 1300 crore market cap. And according to that, I have made my list of stocks. Now, Dhampur Sugar is the leading integrated sugar cane processing company in the country. It is also into renewable energy, ethanol, bio fertilizers. Its revenue comes from sugar 43%, for potable spirits 17%, ethanol 26%, and generation of power at 5%, others at 1%. Promoter holding is currently at 49.12%. FII holding 5.59, which is quite high compared to the other companies we saw. Domestic institutions very low at 0.46, and public at 44.92%. There is a again in this company's case also promote poor sales growth in the last 5 years at a negative 5.59%. There has also been a decline in return on capital employed and return on equity in this case. It also has a low Pitracy score, but the stock has made it into the Benjamin Graham Value Screener stock. Now let's have a look at the charts. Now, Dhampur Sugar, the quarterly charts, again, look at it, roller coaster, 96 all the way down to 2003, and then a super rally to 2006, pre-COVID dump, Lord, a triangle formation all the way till 2015, then a solid recovery compared to other sugar stocks, and of course, not compared to Bannari Amman. This stock and Avadh, these are the three stocks which stood out, which did early recovery bounces. 2017, then a sideways corrective, and then a takeoff. And again, now from 23rd, 22 April quarter, it's gone into a sideways shell totally out here in that case. So the quarterly charts are suggesting support coming in at 108.75, which is the Ichimoku baseline currently, with a resistance forming in this case all the way at 260 and then all the way up at 300. Let's have a look at the monthly chart. Fantastic cloud support currently out here at 210. And if that 210 fails to hold, in this case, it comes down to 175 odd rupees. If that does not hold due to any circumstances, then we would be looking at something like this, where the next, the stock managed to push its way up and moved it. So this would be something we would be looking at if this particular level does not hold. The monthly resistance in the case of Dhampur is coming up at 260, which is the Ichimoku what baseline, and then again at 300 in this case. Let's have a look at the weekly charts of Dhampur, and you can see stock below the cloud. Future Kumo is still quite bearish. The support coming in right now in the weekly at 180 in this case, which is out here with the nearest scenario took place, and we can see again in this chart the level of how this line has held in this particular sideways move from March of 22, 23, and then all the way coming back from there and trying to bounce its way up now again from there. So that's the level I'll be looking at as a crucial support in this case. The resistance, Ichimoku baseline at 225, then at 260, and then at 280 in this particular case. Let's look at the daily time frame for Dhampur. Inside the cloud, quite a lot of turmoil. Support coming in at 200, then all the way down to 200. 210 to 200 is the support level in the daily time frame. Big resistance at 225 and then 230, then all the way to 260. My reading in the case of Dhampur Sugar is that the stock has got a very, very solid base around 200 in my reading. So I would be looking to accumulate the stock between 200 on the downside and on the upside all the way to give it more, all the way up to 250 odd levels, 250 odd levels. So more wider range to cover on the upside, if it starts pushing well, that way build up, and on the downside till 180 odd levels, and sorry, 200 odd levels, and accumulate in that zone. Failure to hold 200, I'm prepared for 175, like that, 200 odd. My upside projections as per again the Ichimoku price theory and Fibonacci are coming to 375 and then 450 in this case. So tremendous upside possibility for the stock. Again, one good characteristics you can see is that each correction has made higher lows and higher gone on to make higher highs. So based on that, and if the continuation is going to be similar, we can look at that kind of projection in medium to long term. Now, again, once more the disclaimer, please do your study carefully before considering any decisions of your trading and investing in the stock. And do respect levels, and always be with the side of the trade. Once again, please do like this video, share it with people you know who would be interested in it, and do subscribe my channel for regular stock and index ideas. Until then, happy investing.